This right here is the star of the show Creed, Aventus. Makes good noises, smells great. Kind of a flagship for Creed as well, and also has been cloned more times than the stormtroopers in Star Wars. Many a time I have purchased a fragrance and went to blind test it, only to find out it's another Aventus clone. Very frustrating indeed. I have this series going on right now, which I spray the fragrance and all of the clones, and I see if I can guess the real one. We did it with Leighton, we did it with Angel Share. But this one, I am not ashamed to admit, I have been terrified of this one, because in this video I have Aventus and 11 clones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to the clones that I have here. Then I have sprayed them right here. We're going to blindly sample, see if I can guess which one the real Aventus is, and we do this for a couple reasons. One, I want to know what the best Aventus clone is, the best carbon copy, and two, because I want to put my money where my mouth is, and actually see if I can tell the difference between a $200 fragrance and a $20 fragrance. Let me introduce you to our competitors today. From the house is Banana Republic. I'm not going to do that. That'll be very, very annoying. And this is a legend, Black Walnut Legend. And I'm going to talk about these fragrances a little bit later on, so I'm just showing them to you now. I'll talk about them later on. English Laundry, London. Intense Noir for men, Sapil. This is Ottoman. Now this is, I don't have the other one, the original. This is supposed to be a clone of Hasivat mixed with Ani. And I'm hoping this will be an easy one, because I am concerned I'm just going to straight up fail this challenge, and I want something a little bit easy. Give me hope. Mancera's Cedrat, Boise. From the house of Afnan, Supremacy, Extrait. Banana Republic, once more. Midnight Hour. Oh my goodness, this is a lot. From the house of Alt, Executive Absolute, which is a clone of Aventus Absolute, which is very similar to Aventus, just like a more adult version, grown up, richer, better. From the house of Armaf Club de Nuit Intense, obviously. The limited edition version, which is the parfum. From Versace, we have Energy. Oh my gosh, there's so many. And from the house of Mont Blanc, we have Explorer. We have two notable ones missing. One of them, the house of Rayan Insurrection, and number 2. We don't have, well, I guess we don't have Hasivat, but we also don't have L'Aventure by Al Hermain, and I gotta tell you, by my 11th grade fragrance, I was like, I'm good with the Aventus fragrances, so I think I would have been able to pick out L'Aventure, because L'Aventure uses a lemon note instead of a pineapple note, but I sprayed these in my smells like Jeremy Fragrance threw up and died in there. It smells of artificial pineapple and birch. So, let's do this. Now, I do have a bit of a different plan on this one. A game plan, if you will. My goal is to kind of speedrun it on the first try and see if I can get some of these easier ones out. Then the second time, I think I might try to find Aventus on the second round. I gotta tell y'all, you can probably tell I'm a little nervous. Let's give it a shot. So I have the names written on these things. I'm also going to flash it up there, I think, up there. The name or there, one of the two, because it blurs it a little bit, so I cannot see it. It's pretty heavy cardboard. So this is number 1. Numero uno. Let's go. Okay. Oh, that smells so good. That smells so good. I know that that's not Aventus. I thought this would be easier. I know this isn't Aventus, but I'm not sure which one it is yet. I'm torn between Cedrat, Boise, and Midnight Hour. We'll just skip that right now. And of course, it could literally be neither. Okay, second one. That is very faint. Very faint. But it's straight up Aventus. I mean, make no doubt about that. This could be Aventus or an Aventus style. Definitely Aventus style fragrance. Out of all of these, I'm most concerned about Explorer and Club de Nuit and Man Intense. But that one was definitely very Aventus-esque. Next. Number 3. I know that this is not Aventus. I 100% know that this is not Aventus. 100%. But it's a very good smell. Okay, I know number 1 and number 3 is not Aventus, but I can't limit it. Let's go number 4. Oh, y'all, this is not easy. I knew this wouldn't be easy, but holy cow. Oh, what is this? This is killer. This is my favorite actually so far. What is this? It smells a little bit like more vanilla-y. It's not vanilla-y. I don't, difficult to explain. It's not vanilla. It's like, it just has more of those sensual notes. We're gonna put it to the side. That one was the best one, by far, whatever it was. I'm looking at it like, that was not the Hasavat one, that was not the Duo one. Okay, next, this is 5. That is the Hasavat. That is the Hasavat Ani clone. Cool. I needed an easy one. I say this. Watch this not even be Hasavat. Watch this be. It's not Aventus, but watch it not even be Hasavat. Okay. I'm gonna put this to the side. My guess. Hasavat. Hasavat Ani is a really good fragrance. It's definitely much more Hasavat. I think it takes over that note profile much more than the Ani kind of gets lost a little bit. But pretty good nonetheless. So that was number 5. This is the new number 5. Soapy, birchy, really woody. citrus, super woodsy, super citrus. I know I have the eros energy up in here. Let me try to eliminate that before I make any guesses. This is 6. Yeah, this is either midnight hour or eros. Let's keep going. 7. Yo, this is good. This is really good. This is definitely an Aventus. Dry down's pretty good. A little artificial, but not bad. 8. What is that? That is just different altogether. That is really different. That doesn't smell like any of them, but it's really good. What do we got here? This is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 9. 9. Oh, I recognize this one. This is Midnight Hour. It's got to be Midnight Hour. Midnight Hour has a very distinct kind of mango type opener, and it also has a really, I don't want to describe it this way because it's like one of my least favorite words. It just sounds gross. Creamy. A really creamy nose, like a really creamy mango. That is so good. We talk all the time about people trying to do clones of Aventus and not improving upon them. I think this does, for better or worse. But I think that this is Midnight Hour by Banana Republic. I don't know where to put this. I'll put it over here. I think it's this. And time will tell if I'm correct. Time will tell. I think we're on what? This is the new 9. That's very different. This is either supremacy or alt. I will say this. Every other time that I've done a video, I've been like, this one sucks, it's gotta be alt. This one sucks, it's gotta be alt. The executive absolute of the alt is actually the best one that I've ever tried. The best alt fragrance I've ever tried. And the reason why I say that is because I can tell this is an extrait. Extrait has this saturated kind of, I mean, you can just tell it's oily, it's saturated, it's dense, it's thick. There's a difference between water and jello, you know, and you smell enough EDT, EDB, extrait, parfum, you can get used to picking up on the concentration. Last one. That's really light. I don't think I have hardly any eau de toilettes here. Powdery. 100% is not Aventus. Okay, 100% is not Aventus. But a little bit different. Okay, I got 2, I think. I got 2. I gotta tell you though, I have no idea which one is Aventus. None of them were like, it's Aventus. None of them. So, even Aventus. So let's just go back to number 1. That's actually really good. I know this is not Aventus. Well, I don't know that it's not Aventus. It's a little soapier. It makes me think that it's London. But I think this is Cedrat Boise. Just because again, it smells like an extrait and Mancera's extrait, but also because smells familiar, and out of all these fragrances, Aventus and Mancera are the two I've had the most experience with, so I'm going to say Cedrat Boise. When people were telling me about Cedrat Boise, they're like, clearly it's an Aventus clone, and I'm like, I don't see it. But now, viewing them with all of these together, I'm like, maybe. Okay, let's go to the new number one. Ooh. That is definitely Aventus. I mean, that is an Aventus style cologne. That is near. I mean, that's Aventus. It's Aventus. Let's keep going and try to eliminate some of these other ones. Let's go to number 2. Hope you all don't find this too boring. There's so many. Number 2. The new number 2. It's clearly going for Aventus, but it's light and it makes me think that it's either black walnut or London. I don't want to be too hasty, but I'm just going to make a decision and say black walnut. But I really think black walnut and London are going to be indistinguishable from each other, so I'm going to say black walnut. Black walnut's really good though. I don't want to make you think that it's not. It's really good. This one, and I think this one might have been the one I said was really good. I can't remember. Okay. Yikes. It's not as birchy as the first one. Sorry. It's not as birchy as the first one. Makes me believe this is Armaf because it smells slightly synthetic. I think that smells like Club de Nuit. I'm not willing to bet my life on it just yet, so let's keep going. The new number 3. Gosh, these things lay flat to the desk. They're hard to move. Very birchy, very citrusy. Honestly, I think the thing this closest resembles to is probably eros right now, but I can't tell if it's eros. Because it also has strong woodsy notes, so I know this is not eros, but it's way more citrus than the first two. Let's do number 4 here. I'm really trying to find eros. This is the new number 4. Yeah, this is eros. I'm gonna guess this is eros. Eros has a very strong, birchy, pineapple citrus kind of opener, but when it settles down, it smells a little bit like those lemon Pez candies. It smells like you can drink it, and that's what I'm getting now in the mids. I had to wait. This is eros. I feel very confident about that. I'm absolutely stunned that Sapil and Alt are still in it. It's crazy to me. We have 7 more. 7 more. This is the new number 4. Maybe I should stop doing numbers. my number system makes no sense. This one. Yeah, this is very, very Aventus, but you can tell that it is of a lower quality. Cheaper fragrance. I know this is not Club de Nuit because it's not as, forgive the pun, but intense. And I know it's not Explore, so that means it is either Sapil or London. I'm just going to go Sapil because I think London is a higher quality. But it's really good and it's really close. I will be heartbroken if that is Aventus and I just offended everyone and everything. Okay. gosh, it does not smell like Aventus. Don't get me wrong, it smells similar in that same vein, but this is 100% not Aventus. But it's also heavy and saturated, and it's not as deep as Absolute is. And so I know this is an extrait. I've already done Cedrat Boise. I've already done my other extrait, the Duo. And I know this is not Absolute, because Absolute, this is lighter. Absolute is deeper, darker. Which means this has to be Supremacy. It has to be. It has to be. So we'll put that down there. I'm really surprised though, because if that is Supremacy, I thought it was a lot closer to Aventus, and that is not. It's very clearly not. Okay. Oh, we have 5 left. Some of these have been easy, some of them have been very difficult. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Oh my gosh, that is so good. It's not Aventus. You can tell it's not Aventus, but it's rich and it's complex. And it's not Club de Nuit. And it's not Explorer. So I have Aventus. I know it's not Aventus. I know it's not Explorer. I still have London, but I know it's not London because this also smells like an extrait. There's no way this is alt though. There's no way. I really like this. There's no way this is alt, but there's nothing else. There's nothing else I can guess. I think I'm gonna be angry if this turns out to be alt. All the smack I talk about alt, that is a phenomenal fragrance. Okay. Those first 3 are by far the most Aventus fragrances, so I know that Aventus has got to be in there. But right now we have Explore Aventus, London, and Club de Nuit. What do we got? I will say I'm gonna have to go with London for this, but having such a limited time with London, I don't know. This is just a total guess. So we're gonna go with London. But for reals, lower quality fragrance. Not low quality, just lower than the extraits and the other ones we've been doing. So. Okay, yo. I got 3 left. And I knew it would come down to these. We have Club de Nuit, Aventus, and Explore. Let's see if we can pick out Explore. I know it's got to be more mild, and Club de Nuit I know has got to be more. Let's just try it. First one. This to me smells like an earlier version of Aventus, one that's a little bit more woodsy. This does not smell like my Aventus. So this smells like Aventus, but not my batch of Aventus. Which means this has to be Explorer or Club de Nuit. Let's go with number 2. This has got to be Aventus, because Club de Nuit is not this sweet. But I don't know. I tell you what, we haven't even gotten to this part yet, but I can already tell you any of these 3 fragrances, they're almost identical. Like, batch variations, some are sweeter, some are birchier. But I could not tell you, if you were standing next to me and you had on one of these 3, which one was Aventus. sucks. That can't be Aventus. Watch it be Aventus. Number 3. Oh, okay. Now I'm thinking that this is probably Aventus because Aventus has a way of getting better as it sits, where the other two have given it their best shot already. Oh, man, this is tough. Number 1. I gotta say this is Explorer because it's too subtle. It's too subtle. It's not Club de Nuit. So I'm gonna say this is, and it's not as sweet as my Aventus. And then there were 2. Let's do this. I'm going to give you not only which one I think is Aventus, but also which one I like better. This one. Gosh, that is good. This one. The difference truly is in that citrus note. You can tell there's a longer, an elongated sitting pattern, meaning you can tell this is how I knew that it was angel share, was because it's not as well blended. The notes are of a higher quality, so they maintain their molecular structure slightly longer, meaning that you can pick out every single one of those notes. Oh, that's the pineapple, that's the birch, that's this. And for that reason, I believe this is Aventus, and the other one was Club de Nuit. This non-distinguishable. I would be a little surprised just because I feel like the one I picked that was Aventus, but I would not be that surprised if I picked wrong. Okay. How did I do? The first one that I did was the duo. So, let's see how many of these I got wrong and how many I got right. The first one, really good. Duo has its haters and I understand it. But I love these mix and match ups. I love the Imagine the God of Fire, which is Louis Vuitton's Imagination, mixed with The God of Fire by Stephanie Humbert. And I love these mix-up and matchups from Dua, and it's just really, really good. So let's see. And we got the Hasavat. So yes, we're 1 for 1 here. That was an easy one. Let's go over the next one, which I think was Cedrat Boise. Cedrat Boise is an overly woodsy, overly birchy. Now it's an extrait. Very high quality. There is no, in my opinion, niche-like house or niche house. Obviously, we'll all have different definitions of what that means. But I don't think there's a single one that gives you more bang for your buck than Mancera. It's just, you're getting extrait, excellent ingredients, and unique fragrances most of the time, not all the time. You're getting a magnetic cap, a cool looking bottle, and a 4-ounce bottle at that. And we're good. Cedrat Boise. It also lasts forever and ever and ever and ever, but this particular one really does favor colder weather, I think, whereas Aventus, does, and Aventus is 4 seasons. Okay. The next one, Midnight Hour. People have dismissed this one. They said it's no good. Those people are no good, in my opinion. Banana Republic fragrance. a reinvention of the wheel when you're talking about fragrances that have been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, trying to clone Aventus. This dares to be a little different, so let's see. Are we good? Yes, midnight hour. Those were the easy ones, to be honest, though. Those were easy. Let's go with the next easy one, and it's Eros Versace. When I first got this fragrance, I did not know that it resembled Aventus in the opener. Truly, when you're talking about a woodsy citrus blend, the brain doesn't necessarily register, oh, well, that's pineapple, that's this, that's that. And so this smells a lot like Aventus on the opener. But like I said too, it also has that kind of lemon pez sugariness that Aventus does not have. And when this dries down, it's very citrus. It performs. And it smells like the way the bottle looks. Energetic, exciting. And honestly, it's a really good fragrance. But it is also very different, very, very different from Eros and Eros Flame. Very different. Was it Jeremy Fragrance who said, took one sniff of this and said, this smells just like Sauvage? I swear, you can go find the video. Let's see if we're right here. Well, it's upside down. But yes, bada bing, bada boom. Go, go, go. These were the gimmies, right? These were kind of just the gimmies. My first wild guess was this guy, Sapil. I was surprised with this. This is eau de parfum. Found this at the rack stores, TJ Maxx. Had no idea what it was, obviously. When I smelled it, I immediately knew that it was an Aventus clone. Decided to get it anyways because I didn't have any Aventus clones at the time. They also make another fragrance that is Sapil Blue, and it is a fragrance clone of, I don't remember actually. It's an aquatic like Invictus or something like that. $15 fragrance. And you know, this is Middle Eastern fragrance as well. Let's see if I got it right. I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised if I didn't get it right. I don't know this fragrance that much. What do we got? Oh, okay. Tool shot in the dark. What got it is just not the performance monster that some of these others are, and the fact you can get something like Club de Nuit for so cheap. I would definitely tell someone if they were going to get a vintage style clone to go with that. So, go, 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 go. I like that. I dig it. Next. Man, let's go to this one. I'm blown away by this. That this did not out itself as being disgusting right away, as most of my alts have, but I kid you not. Y'all hate on alt a lot. I hate on alt a lot right there with you. But something an absolute executive they did right, and they created a good fragrance. just tell. I can just tell if something is an extrait. That means you're talking about 30-40% saturation. It's a big difference from an eau de parfum. It could be twice that, so to me, it's pretty obvious. But I would be shocked if this is alt, because it should not have been this good. Let's see. That is just stupid. I kid you not. It's not the greatest fragrance I've ever smelled. Don't get me wrong. But this is a good fragrance. This is the first fragrance from alt that I legitimately would recommend. For $20, don't spend like the 40 if there's better options, but that's shocking to me. Okay, let's knock out this guy. This surprised me because I feel really confident that I guessed this one correct as well. And what surprised me is the fact that this smells nothing like Aventus. Now, to be fair, this was supposed to be more of a clone of Cedrat than Aventus. Cedrat, of course, being by eachother. Cool bottle, 5-ounce bottle for like $40. I mean, very affordable. But truly was very, very different from Aventus. More powdery, more complex, but I would say worse than Aventus for me personally. But an extrait nonetheless. I could tell it's an extrait, and supremacy. It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy. It's good, don't get me wrong, but do not buy this fragrance being like, oh, I'm gonna smell like Aventus. It's Aventus-esque, but it falls way short. And I didn't know that, actually. I've been going around all this time thinking it smells like it, but side by side, no. Next. Another 2 shots in the dark. Black walnut. When I first got my Banana Republic fragrances, I didn't know anything about any of them. I heard Vintage 78 was good, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Ended up loving Cordovan Vintage, ended up loving Tobacco and Tonka Bean. And I got to this guy, and I sprayed it, and I'm like, that's Aventus. Just straight up. $25 eau de parfum. Not the greatest, not the worst. And this one, again, would not surprise me if I got this one wrong. It's just, I hate to be like super critical, but it's like the second tier Aventus clone. Let's see if I got this one right. Gosh darn, can't even get the cap back on. London. So that's a big no. You can tell what it's doing. You can tell what it's doing, but it's definitely not Aventus, which means that I must have gotten London wrong. London, let's talk about London. London is a little bit more powdery than Aventus. It's definitely in the same vein, same vibes. It's going for something similar. And if you look up the note breakdown, other than the birchy, woodsy notes, all the top and mid notes are the same as Aventus. The pineapple, the bergris. In my opinion, it's a very good English laundry. I listed it as my 3rd favorite, but it's not the best. It's not the best Aventus style fragrance. I bought it when TJ Maxx and Marshalls were having all these jokers for $15. I was like, there's just no brainer. I can't remember if I got it on a business trip or not. I don't remember. was pretty impressed. I was like, 15 bucks, yeah, let's go. But what these guys originally fetched, like 60, 70 bucks, I don't know about that. Let's see what I said this one was. Black walnut. I mixed the two up. An understandable mistake, if I dare say so myself, so. Well, this is good. We have not disqualified all of these. I haven't accidentally said Aventus was like black walnut. That's endearing. That's good. They're all different for different reasons, but the best ones, I believe, are in this top 3. Not only the best Aventus, but possibly the best fragrance as well, although I would put eros in there, as well as Cedrat, Boise, but we'll get to that. We'll rank them at the end. First of all, this is the one that I feel like is the safest one, which is this one. Explorer is neutered. It does not go all out like Club de Nuit or Aventus, and ultimately that's what made the difference. It's very Aventus. I mean, it is Aventus, but it does not scream like Aventus, and Club de Nuit becomes a skin scent much faster than the two of them. But very good fragrance. And I really like Mont Blanc's Explorer Platinum. Probably better than this one. So let's see, I feel pretty confident about this one. Yep, I feel pretty confident about that. There's 3 fragrances that smelled alike, and it was this one, Club de Nuit and Aventus. And Explorer impressed me the least out of those 3. What do we have to say about this? What can we say about this? What can't we say about this? This is the fragrance that put Armaf on the map, bro. On the map. Armaf's been doing his thing. Lattafa's been doing his thing, but they have these breakout fragrances. Camera for Lattafa and Trey Nuit, Armaf, and the Club de Nuit line. Incredible. These big old gaudy looking things. They have clones of Millesime, they have clones of Silver Mountain Water, and Baccarat, and this guy. Now, what's interesting about this guy is they have different tiers. So, they have an EDT, Eau de Parfum, and Parfum. Now this, in my opinion, the Parfum is the best. It's also the most expensive. I think maybe if I hold it up to the light, I can't tell how much I have in here, but this used to be the fragrance that I said performed the greatest out of all fragrances in my collection. I might change that after testing Lattafa's Teriyok, and 1/2 spray lasted me a long time. I was at the gym and I'm like, this is not a gym fragrance, but literally half a spray. 24 hours later, it was powerhouse. Now, I do think that this particular fragrance might have been the one that I was most impressed with, but ultimately decided that I didn't think this was Aventus because it wasn't citrusy enough. And let's see if I was correct. Yeah. Club de Nuit, man, intense. And I still state that. I still agree with that. Let's hold up this other one. This is the one I said was Aventus. The citrus is there, but it's not as well refined. It's kind of more in your face than actually being a refined, elegant approach like Creed has. with Club de Nuit, man, intense. I would think you're wearing Creed. I couldn't tell the difference. So that means the number one, Aventus. Cool. I'm glad I didn't totally fail that. I got two wrong. I mixed up London and black walnut, but let me tell you something. Do you need Aventus? I don't know. I really don't know. Club de Nuit gets you 98% the way there. It's just when you're smelling them side by side, you can tell. But how many times you gonna walk down the street, people wearing side by side? Another thing, Club de Nuit performs better and projects better. More people give compliments with this than Aventus because people can smell it more. They smell it on you because of how loud it is. Number one, for me, is still gonna be Aventus, but that's a $200 plus fragrance. Number two is gonna be the Club de Nuit Intense, and that's a clear winner right there. Three, I'm gonna give some love to Mancera. Four is going to be Energy, and then five is gonna be Midnight Hour. I just really like how it does something different. With that note, if you have the chance and you see Midnight Hour for $20-25 at Burlington's, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, grab it. If you like Aventus, you will not be disappointed. So, my overall conclusion is it worth buying Aventus instead of